Jeff Arizona Hot Homestead. Today's video was by request. Some of the mouse traps I'm setting and the buckets I'm setting and all the mice I've been catching, someone asked about making the buckets, the mouse trap buckets. So now I know there's other videos on this, but I'll show you what I've done on my buckets here. So first off, on my buckets, this wire that's on here, that wire I've had a spool of that wire for decades. That wire was actually from growing up. My dad actually added on to the house, and they lived in a block house. And so there's rebar that you put in the walls. And part of the rebar in the walls and the floor and stuff, you've got to tie some of the rebars together. And so you use this wire. We've always called it rebar wire. Some people call it baling wire. So some kind of stiff wire is what I'm using. And all I've done is I've just, see how well this comes out. All I've done is I've just wrapped it around this once, the handle. So I've not drilled any holes at all. And I just wrapped it around on the other side as well. And then I put my can, and when I did my can, this hole in the bottom of the can, I did that hole with a screw. I just took a screw and my quarter screwdriver and I just screwed a small screw in there. And that's how I got that hole. And then on the other side, I just used the hole that's already in the can, and then the tab here, I just put it through that to kind of help keep it more centered. And the stiff wire works out good because you can stick it through this a lot easier. You start from the small end and bring it through this end, and then as I set it down in here, what I try to do at least is I try to bend this wire just a little bit downward, because I don't want this can sliding to one side or the other to make it easier for the mouse. So I'll bend it down a little bit so it kind of stays in the center. Then I put water inside. I don't know how well you can see the water in there. There's a chunk of ice in there because it's been freezing. But I'll put a little bit of water in there. But the sides are so slick that I think even if there was no water in there, it'll just be down in there stuck. But you do want to put some water in because you do want them to basically drown and not just sit there and starve to death, basically. I don't know what you guys think, but it's a mouse, and really inhumane, it's a rodent. And I don't want him around my turf, in my domain. I kind of don't care really how he dies. I know that may be insensitive and all, but I really don't care how he dies as long as he stays off my property. Like I said earlier, this is a hot zone. Stay out of the hot zone or you expect to die. Drowning or starving inside the bucket, however way you want to set it up, do it your way. Then on the can itself, this is old. I gotta redo some of it. But here's some peanut butter, and all I've done is I've just taken some creamy peanut butter, and I'll put it all the way around the can. I gotta redo this one, but I'll put it all the way around the can. You put it thin, you put it thick. Either way, the more you put on there, the greater that scent is going to be to attract them. Then this one doesn't have any, but then I'll take like either cranberries or raisins, some dried cranberries or some raisins or even some blueberries or whatever, and I'll pinch them onto the peanut butter. And when I do so, I'll take some of them and I'll break the raisin or I'll break the cranberries to let some of the juice out, and that kind of helps the whole aroma fruit being put in there. And then I'll push a whole bunch of those in this, and then I'll set it somewhere. Now the ideal situation is to have something to make it easy for the mouse to get to it, like a ramp. A simple thing like this little piece of OSB, a little trim piece, a little piece off of a board I've cut. Give him a ramp. That way he's got something to walk up there and to reach for this. And if he's able to get to this, he's going to roll off and fall into the bucket. So you got to give him an access point. Now, I have not done that, believe it or not. I've done no ramps at all to mine. Instead, what I'll do is I'll put them on the trailer and I'll set them actually. Let me show you what I'll do here. See, like that set up right there. So what will happen here is he'll actually walk on the bumper and then he'll reach down trying to get the, well, that one's got all of its bit dried up. They already said all these, don't I? But he'll reach for that and then he'll fall in. If you also notice the handle of the bucket I've got raised up. That also kind of helps make him think that he can get to it, so he'll make that effort. This one here I have on the back end of this trailer. Right now I have this little luggage type rack, so he can easily get from here down to there. On this end I'll put the bucket, in fact the one I was just showing you goes right here, to where he can go from there down to there. This is where I seem to get most of my mice, so this is where I've been setting my buckets. So the bottom line is, make sure that you got a ramp to your bucket. You don't have to drill any holes other than your screw hole in the bottom of the can. Just string your wire. I just put this down a little bit just so I don't poke myself, but that's it on the bucket. They work, and I know some people like them better than the traps. There you go. And then you can just dump them in the trash bin. So here's on the Hot Homestead. By request of viewers, the mousetrap bucket. This is what I do. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, comment, and I hope you have a fantastic, safe new year. And of course, happy holidays to you.